You asked to awaken. You asked for answers, signs, a deeper connection with the unseen, and the universe responded. But what no one told you is that, along with this awakening, would come the weight of expansion. You don't feel all this because you're weak. You feel it because you're more open than ever. Your sensitivity has expanded. Your inner senses are operating on a different level. And your body is trying to adjust to what your soul has already accessed. But no one prepared you for this passage, for the phase where the gift doesn't feel like a gift. Where spiritual presence doesn't soothe but weighs on you, demands from you, pulls you. Where signs stop being merely beautiful and start becoming exhausting. Where every shiver comes filled with codes you don't yet understand. You started distancing yourself from certain people, not out of judgment, but because their energy became too heavy. Conversations that once felt normal now seem empty. Places that used to feel warm now drain your energy within minutes. Everything is more intense. Everything is felt more deeply. It's as if the whole world has grown louder, even in silence. At times, it feels like you're going to burst from the inside, as if you're carrying something no one else can see. A vibration pulsing deep in your chest, a nameless calling pulling you away from everything that once felt familiar. You try to explain it, to find the right words, but how do you explain something that can only be felt? How do you put into sentences a language that speaks directly to the soul? The truth is, many people are going through this, but they believe something is wrong. They think they're falling apart, when in truth, they're in the middle of an activation. You're not losing control. You're crossing an invisible threshold. And as lonely as this passage may seem, it has a purpose. It's preparing you for something greater. Something that will require a new structure, a new field, a new energetic body. But there's still something no one told you. And it's what you need to understand before it's too late. You feel things most people don't. Sometimes, even before stepping into a place, you already know what you'll find. You pick up emotions that aren't yours. You sense the vibration in the air, even when everything seems calm on the surface. And this sensitivity, which once felt like a rare gift, has started to pull you away from the world. You try to act normal, to talk, to engage, to stay present. But something's changed. Your body reacts before your mind does. The environment feels heavier. People drain you. Everyday sounds hit you like shouts. Lights seem brighter. Scents feel stronger. And the fatigue comes without effort. You think you're overreacting, but the truth is, you're tuning into frequencies most people aren't ready to handle. Your soul opened doors your body hasn't yet learned to sustain. And this sensitivity that isolates you is just the sign that your body can no longer hold all of it in. There are others going through the same thing, but they don't know how to name it. They're breaking down in silence, thinking they've gone mad. But it's not madness. It's an overflow of light, of stimulus, of spiritual energy trying to stabilize in a body that was trained to deny all of it. You try to adjust. You avoid crowds. You react badly to conflict. You feel pains that come and go without reason. And deep down, you carry the sense that you're holding something invisible, a presence, a mission, a calling that's growing louder, and no one around you seems to notice. You look around and see people going about their routines, laughing, working, sleeping peacefully. And you wonder, why does everything feel so different for me? Why does the world vibrate at a frequency that just doesn't match mine? The answer doesn't come in words. It comes through your skin, through goosebumps, through symbolic dreams, through a quiet certainty that something is approaching, and you need to be ready. Because there's a reason this is happening now, and no one's explained it to you yet. Not every gift comes as a blessing. Some arrive as a burden, like a code activated before its time. When that happens, the body doesn't know how to hold so much vibrational information. It tries to contain it, but it can't. It tries to integrate it, but it wasn't prepared. That's when what I call a misaligned gift is born. A spiritual activation that doesn't sync with the physical body. An energy field that opens too far, expands too fast, and exceeds what the system can handle. You're not weak. You're overflowing. Overflowing with undirected energy, with light that hasn't been anchored, with gifts that haven't been taught. And instead of empowering you, This abundance ends up throwing you off balance. Your body has become a field without boundaries. And now it's paying the price. Anxiety that comes out of nowhere, a strange pressure between your eyebrows, sudden dizziness, like the world spins for a second and resets, mood swings, unexplained impatience, blurred vision that clears again, irritation even with those you love, a need to isolate, a fear of losing control. Some people begin forgetting simple words. Others develop sensitivity to food, noise, or touch. Some describe a fainting sensation with no clinical cause. Tests come back normal, but inside, everything feels like a vibrational collapse. These symptoms aren't flaws. They're signs of a frequency that rose too quickly, of a field that opened and didn't close, of a gift that emerged but hasn't yet been embraced with awareness. You're trying to adjust to something no one ever taught you about. Because almost no one talks about this side of the process. They speak of the light, the expansion, the healing, but rarely admit that awakening also has a dark sidey side that hurts, that demands, that unbalances. It's like a system forced to operate on too much energy, and it begins to fail. Your body is trying to prevent that collapse. That's why it reacts. That's why it shuts down. That's why it screams through symptoms. Most people don't see this. They believe they're sick, that they've lost their minds. But the truth is something else. Misaligned gifts, activations without integration, light that hasn't been grounded. And this is the real reason for your exhaustion. You've noticed you've started forgetting simple things, names, words, places, like your mind blinks for a moment, then comes back. Mental blackouts. Gaps in presence without any neurological cause but rather an energetic one. Your field is going through temporary collapse, as if the soul is trying to reorganize. But the body can't keep up. You look at yourself in the mirror and feel like you've aged overnight. Your skin looks dull, your eyes more tired, as if the days are draining you at a different rhythm than the rest of the world. It's a kind of weariness that doesn't come from age but from spiritual overload, as if your vital energy is being pulled through an invisible channel, in silence. Lying down, without fear or anxiety, your heart races, your chest pulses in a strange rhythm, like something is beating beyond the physical, as if there's a presence in your field, interfering with the natural rhythm of your existence. You wake up with a hollow feeling in your chest, an energetic void, an absence you can't explain, as if something left your field during the night when it was too open, too drained. A mourning for something you don't even know how to name. At times, it feels like you're carrying the weight of someone who's no longer here, an emotion that isn't yours, a sadness that comes out of nowhere, a fear that feels borrowed. This isn't your imagination. You're absorbing loads from other fields because yours is vulnerable without barriers. There are days when the dizziness comes as a warning, and you stop. The ground disappears for a second. You're not sure whether you're about to faint or wake up. It's your body interrupting a frequency that's vibrating far too high. An inner alarm saying, "I can't hold this anymore." Your sleep becomes fragmented. You wake up between 3 and 5 a.m. every day, as if something is calling you back before the restoration is complete. This happens because there's energetic interference at that time, when spiritual channels are most open. If your field is out of balance, it absorbs more than it should during those hours. You feel light shocks on your skin, intense goosebumps without feeling cold, sounds where there should be silence, vibrations moving through your hands or legs at random moments, as if something external is passing through you. These symptoms are real, and they're becoming more common in those who awaken too quickly, without guidance or grounding. For some, the body sends clear physical signals: sudden hair loss, hormonal imbalances, intolerance to foods that used to be fine, recurring inflammation, pains that shift locations, heaviness in the back, neck tension. And even when test results come back normal, the energy is not. Others face intense emotional symptoms, crying spells without reason, sudden urges to give up on everything, a sense that life has lost its meaning even when everything appears fine on the surface. This isn't clinical depression. It's the body struggling to survive a vibrational overload it doesn't know how to process. You're going through a point of mutation. The body is being pushed to expand, but it's still operating under an old structure. It's like trying to channel a cosmic storm through a copper wire. The system breaks down. That's why everything feels unstable. That's why the ordinary world no longer fits. The body isn't failing, it's screaming, trying to warn you before it completely breaks. Your body is trying to survive what your soul has activated. And everything you're feeling right now is still just the beginning. Because there's something deeper behind these symptoms, something more invisible and more dangerous. But it's still not the worst part. They said awakening would be gentle, that you'd feel peace, clarity, love, that everything would make sense, that your life would be guided by signs, intuition, and deep knowing. But no one mentioned what comes before that. No one prepared you for the shock that light brings when it enters a body still used to darkness. Awakening doesn't begin with beauty. It begins with confusion. It turns everything upside down. And the more you try to align with this new vibration, the more it feels like something is being torn out from within. It's not light, not simple, and not immediate. It's chaos breaking apart everything that was never truly yours. You lose interest in the same things. The same places begin to bother you. The same people drain you. What once made sense now feels artificial. What once brought you joy now feels shallow. It's as if you're still living a life that looks like yours on the outside, but no longer reflects who you are inside. And that's terrifying. Because no one told you that, before finding yourself, you'd have to lose yourself completely. That the soul doesn't awaken in silence, but through subtle screams only you can hear. That the gift doesn't arrive with instructions but as an invisible explosion that disrupts everything deep within you. You're living through the dark night of the gift. And that too is part of it. It's not weakness or failure. It's part of the passage, the process of reconstruction, the path of someone who came into this world for something greater than what this current reality can offer. You're being broken from the inside so that something truer can emerge. And even though it feels lonely, this journey is not yours alone. Others are going through it too, in silence, waking at the same hour with heavy hearts, facing the same doubt in the middle of the day, pretending the same quiet while everything inside screams for change. The wounded healer, the sickened medium, the isolated empath, these are all faces of the same reality. Spiritual sensitivity activated in a body unprepared for it. A gift revealed before the foundation was ready, and that comes at a cost. When the soul pulses too strongly, it wears down the mind, disrupts the body's rhythms, and throws emotions into chaos. You no longer recognize your face in the old mirrors. Your goals have lost their charm. Sleep doesn't restore you. Tears come easily. And the pain you feel has no name, but it runs deep. This part of the journey isn't beautiful, but it's real. And in some way, it's sacred. Only those who descend into this internal chaos discover a light that doesn't depend on religion, doctrine, or ritual, a light born from the end, from collapse, from emotional rock bottom. You are unraveling so you can be remade, being pushed inward. And it hurts. But it's not punishment. It's not karma. It's part of the passage. You're not regressing. You're being realigned, redesigned, called to remember something your soul already knew but your mind never reached. And even if it feels like you're alone, there's an invisible network of other souls going through the same stage. Some have gone further. Others are still coming. But all of them are crossing the same bridge between worlds. Because chaos comes before light. Always. And those who pass through that chaos never return the same. There's something almost no one talks about. Something that goes beyond physical symptoms, emotional pain, or mental confusion. Because at the root of it all, there is one invisible but absolutely real cause. Your energetic field is too open. And when the field is too open, everything gets in. Everything passes through. Everything mixes. What you feel doesn't come only from within. It's also a result of everything you're absorbing from the outside. The worst part is, this often happens without you even realizing it. Your aura meant to be a vibrational shield is torn, fragmented, vulnerable. You've become a portal, but you forgot to close the passage. At night, in the silence, you begin to notice a presence, a heaviness in the air. There's no sound, But there is something there, something that isn't yours, something that wasn't there before. You try to sleep, but the feeling of being watched doesn't go away. You close your eyes, but your mind won't rest. Your body curls in, as if trying to defend itself from something it can't name. Sometimes you see lights flickering at the corners of your vision, subtle flashes, shadows passing through the room, but no one else sees it. No one believes you. Only you feel it, only you carry it, only you sense that the atmosphere around you is no longer the same. And then come the sounds. Cracks in the ceiling, objects vibrating, faint noises breaking through total silence. You try to convince yourself it's just your imagination, but the body doesn't lie. It senses, and it warns. There is something here, and it shouldn't be. You open your energy to the world, but the world entered as well. And this is the part almost no one explains. The gift makes you a channel, but if you don't learn how to close, cleanse, and seal that channel, it becomes an open path for all kinds of influence, whether conscious or not, subtle or intense. People who come near you release their emotions. Places you visit cling to your field. Situations you didn't even experience start to weigh on your shoulders, and you feel everything. It's like leaving all the windows wide open during an energetic storm. The wind rushes in, the dust takes over, the cold spreads, and there you are, at the center, trying to keep order while chaos slips in through every crack. Right now, your aura isn't protecting anything. It's absorbing, acting like a sponge, not a shield. And the more you open spiritually, the more you must learn to close energetically. Because there is a difference between expansion and exposure. Spiritual expansion is conscious, focused, and directed. Energetic exposure is involuntary, confusing, and risky. If you don't learn to tell the difference, you'll feel everything, all the time, until you collapse. A woman once told me she had constant back pain and woke up exhausted even after a full night's sleep. She changed her mattress, did physical therapy, had countless tests, all normal. But what she was carrying wasn't physical, it was emotional, vibrational. She worked closely with many people, and without realizing it, she absorbed their pain, their grief, their emptiness. When she learned how to close her field, the pain disappeared. This is the invisible point behind almost every symptom you recognize. It's not just an unbalanced gift, it's your field left unprotected. Your vibrational home has no doors, no windows, no locks. And everything that comes near gets in. That's why you feel tired all the time. A sadness that isn't yours. A rage that comes from nowhere. A faceless fear. An exhaustion that lingers, even after rest. You carry weights that aren't yours, cleanse spaces that don't belong to you, hold energy you didn't generate, because your system is so open it can't tell what's yours from what isn't. No matter how much you meditate, pray, or isolate yourself, if that door stays open, everything will keep coming in. But there is a way through. It begins by listening to what your body has been trying to say for days, maybe weeks or months. You need to learn how to close. Close with awareness, with presence, with love. Because opening the gift was only the beginning. Now, it's time to learn how to hold the light you carry. There's something in the air. Maybe you can't see it, but you feel it in your chest, in the rhythm of your sleep, in the way days feel heavier, longer, more intense. It's as if some invisible force is pressing through everything. The atmosphere feels alive. Time feels strange. No matter how hard your body tries to adjust, it doesn't respond the same. And your mind is tired. What's happening now goes beyond a difficult phase. We are in the middle of a vibrational storm. This isn't a metaphor, it's real. The planet is receiving an energy wave of immense intensity, and every sensitive being is reacting in their own way, to varying degrees. But all of us are being activated. You can feel this shift. It's not psychological, it's vibrational. A wave of codes, like invisible information, is reprogramming Earth's energetic field. And with it, everything is speeding up. Inner purging, emotional breakdowns, sudden intuitions, crises out of nowhere. It's all erupting at once. It's not coincidence, it's activation. Imagine thousands of spiritual antennas turning on at the same time. Every body, an antenna. Every soul, a frequency. And when these antennas open, sensitivity explodes. What used to be subtle becomes intense. What was light becomes heavy. What was hidden comes to the surface. You feel the world more strongly, more deeply, more closely, and sometimes too heavily to bear. This is the critical point, because those who aren't ready to hold this much light begin to collapse inside. The body shows symptoms doctors can't explain. The mind overloads, the life force fragments. It's too much vibration for too little structure, and the result is exhaustion, irritability, confusion, migrating pain, and relentless emotional waves. And those who don't learn to integrate will burn from within. It's a hard truth, but it reflects the vibrational reality of this moment. Activation doesn't wait. It arrives with force, speed, and demand. It wants space. It requires detachment. And those who try to hold on to their old life in the new energy will feel like they're being torn apart. What you used to call anxiety now has a new name. It's light pressing against your system. What once felt like sadness has become vibrational collapse. What was mild discomfort is now a silent implosion. Because the soul is calling for realignment, and everything that no longer matches is falling away. You're feeling all of this because you're among the first to be activated. You are a living antenna in this vibrational storm. Your body is a bridge. Your mind is a key. Your soul is a channel. But a channel must learn how to sustain what it receives. And that's why now, more than ever, you need awareness. This is not the time to search for explanations. It's time to learn how to hold, to anchor, and to choose what enters your field. Because if you keep living as if nothing's happening, your system will give out. Not because you're weak, but because something much greater is passing through you. You need to act before it's too late. It's not about rushing, it's about not postponing anymore. There's no more time to wait for it all to sort itself out. The field won't slow down. Earth won't pause the process. The activation won't ease up. You either learn to work with it or be swept away by it. The good news is, if you're hearing this now, there's still time. The call has arrived, and the crossing has already begun. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel the weight of your body where you are. Bring your attention to your breath, without forcing, just noticing. Inhale in 3 counts. 1, 2, 3. Hold. 1, 2, 3. And exhale slowly. 1, 2, 3. Repeat. Again. One more time. Notice your body calming, your mind softening, your presence returning. Now, visualize a small golden light at the center of your chest, pulsing gently as if it's been waiting for this moment. This is your essence. Alive, ancient, familiar. Slowly, it expands respectfully, wisely touching every part of your body from the inside, rising through your shoulders, throat, head, flowing down through your abdomen, hips, legs, all the way to your feet. Then, this light begins to move outward, not as escape, but as embrace. It forms a layer around you, first close to the skin, then wider, and wider still until it becomes a full sphere, a living membrane, a clear, strong, loving field. You're inside it, protected, aware, whole. This light doesn't separate you from the world, it simply stops the world from invading you. It doesn't close doors, it reestablishes boundaries. It's your original frequency restored, your soul remembering who you are, your body reclaiming sovereignty over what enters and what leaves. In this state of calm breath and presence, say to yourself mentally or softly aloud, I close my field, I return to my center. Repeat, I close my field, I return to my center. Feel this affirmation vibrating through you. It's not a request, it's a vibrational declaration. Every word acts as a code, an adjustment, an anchor. When spoken with truth, your field responds, your energetic structure realigns, and your light begins to inhabit your body more harmoniously. You don't need to defend yourself from the light. You need to teach the light how to live in your body. Your sensitivity is not a flaw nor a curse. It only became painful because it was activated before you learned how to contain it. But now you remember, and that changes everything. This ritual is simple but profound. A return point. A reminder that you choose the frequency you sustain. You can seal your field. You can come back into balance. It doesn't matter what's happening around you. This space is yours. This light is yours. And this body is where your soul came to live, not to suffer. Whenever you feel lost, return to this. Breathe, visualize, affirm. You're not drifting, you're returning. I close my field, I return to my center. And everything begins to fall back into place. You are not broken. You are being rebuilt in a new frequency. The pieces that didn't seem to fit are now rearranging in a new rhythm, a new sound, a new pulse. Everything you've lived up to this point, the pain, the confusion, the emptiness, the symptoms, the collapses were not failures. They were signs that something greater was trying to emerge. Something that no longer fit the old version of who you were. Your field has changed. Your soul has expanded. And what felt like chaos was simply the peeling away of layers that no longer belonged to you. Your gift was never a burden, it only became unsustainable when you tried to live it as if it were ordinary. But you didn't come here to fit in. You came to remember, to reactivate, to transform everything you touch, even if, at first, it hurts. Now that you've come this far, take a deep breath. Deep inside, you know, the pain was only the beginning. The real work begins when you choose what to do with it. The gift is not what you feel, it's what you do with it. You are the bridge between the invisible and the visible, between chaos and healing, between sensitivity and strength. And this video wasn't just content. It was a calling, a reminder, a mirror. The crossing has begun. Now, you are no longer alone. If at any point during this video you felt like I was describing exactly what you're going through, then leave a comment. Even if you've never commented before, even if you think no one will understand. Maybe right now someone else feels the same. Tell us if any of this is happening to you. If sleep no longer comes like it used to. If your body aches where tests show nothing. If the silence feels like it's screaming. If the world is pressuring you towards something you can't name. Leave a comment. Your words might be the sign another soul needs to not give up. You are not alone. You never were. And this space is not just a channel, it's a field, an invisible meeting point for those awakening faster than the world is ready for. If this message reached you, if something in you has been activated, comment, "I'm feeling it too." That simple phrase holds a code, a calling, a reminder that others feel what you feel. And even separated by screens, distance, or time, we're crossing together. But a word of caution. If you think you've figured it all out, if you believe every piece is already in place, remember, this gift still has another face. In the next video, I'll show you what almost no one dares to reveal. And maybe, you'll never see your sensitivity the same way again.